footsteps to the golden sands of her diamond.
I'm Bear Kittay. I'm the social alchemist for Burning Man and Global Ambassador. I am a musician and an entrepreneur and a political activist, and I live here in San Francisco, from New York City originally. There's an intrinsic link in New York between the music community and the political community and the intellectual bohemian grassroots scene, if you will. That's been going on for a while. That's been goes back to Greenwich Village in the 1960s. For me as a kid in New York, being able to kind of come down and immerse myself in whatever scene it was, whether it was the jazz scene, whether it was the blues scene, whether it was the jam band scene, the indie rock scene, and being able to sort of connect culturally with these different various groups. And it was always really powerful to understand the way that these communities would sort of mobilize themselves around specific political events when an election was coming up or when there was some sort of local issue that people were really mobilizing around. And it always fascinated me to see these things because you look at a music community, you look at the passion that fans have, that the artists have, that all the people who are working to sort of help bring out these different music and the holding the space for that. And so often those people have the same passion for helping to transform the world, create a better world. And so I've always seen, when I was growing up in New York, the potential, the human potential in the music community for a kind of political transformation in our society. And that really has gone hand in hand. And that's really what took me from New York out here to San Francisco and around the world. Music for Democracy was an organization we started to help connect the music community to the political world, especially having to do with the Obama campaign and the 2008 election. We had been a part of the music community, where lots of people coming together to festivals, helping to register them to vote, and helping to get these bands to essentially stand up and help to send a message to their fans, that getting involved on a civic level was really important. But that was all happening on a nonpartisan level. It was all register to vote. It wasn't, here are some issues that are really important. Here's the candidates that we support. And so we wanted to create a mechanism to help give the musicians a voice to speak to their fans about the actual, political candidates and issues that they supported, and to help really create a relationship and a dialogue between the political world and the musical world. We went around to lots of different events and also put on lots of events. There were a lot of times, there were situations where people would be willing to play a benefit show or to organize their communities to get behind Obama or other candidates at the time. And there wasn't necessarily the mechanism there on a partisan level. It was hard. It was easy to do that as a nonprofit, but you couldn't support any candidates. You couldn't support any parties. It was very, on a vague educational level, you could do that. If you wanted to actually get in the trenches and say, okay, we're going to actually go and we're going to create this benefit, we're going to raise money, that money is going to go to support these specific partisan issues, it has to be done in a separate political organization. So Music for Democracy was created for that purpose. One of the other cool things we did was we interviewed musicians about politics and politicians about music as a way of really creating a dialogue between these two different sectors. And also, being able to really see the authenticity of a political candidate. If they're talking to you about what kind of music they like, it's a cool revealing of who they are in a certain kind of a way. And same with musicians, a lot of musicians really care about social issues, and it can be really powerful to give them a voice and a platform to be able to reach out to their communities and beyond with the things that they really care about supporting. Music is a weapon of change, as Bear Kittay said. It has the ability to act as a social lubricant for society in a really powerful way. It can align people around the world overnight. And it does this because of its incredible power that it has over us in an almost primordial way. The intrinsic feeling that music gives us when it sort of captivates our soul. Now, the fact that there's a folk tradition on top of that, and we have the ability to connect around the ideas generated through the music and the culture around the music, that is a force for political change in many ways when it shows up that way.